All right, Tim, we want to get back out to that breaking news we told you about at the top of the newscast. Police activity happening right now in the Riverside area near McDuff Avenue.
And the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office is giving us an update right now. Let's listen in.
It was upgraded to an armed dispute because one of the people reported to having a gun on them, on their person. So what we found so far, one of the people involved was a victim of an auto burglary this past weekend. Some of their property had already been recovered by them on these railroad tracks back here. So the lady got out today. She had her child with her, 4-year-old child, and her dog, walking the tracks to see if she could find some more of her property. While doing that, she comes across a bicycle, not related to her, was just walking past it. There's another lady that there was a misunderstanding that thought she was doing something to the bicycle. So that escalated into this dispute. The dispute got a little heated. They pushed each other, it sounds like. The one advised the other one, hey, look, I have a gun on me. So she said, well, if you have a gun, you need to call the police. So she calls the police, tells the police, hey, I got this argument going on, basically. She did admit that she was armed. Meanwhile, officers were dispatched out here. So officers arrived within a couple minutes, and they're driving through the area trying to find them. They realize who they are. They're over here off the tracks, and they're still kind of arguing, it sounds like. So they go over and make contact with them. They pull the one lady over to them, and they get her detained, get her in custody, get her in the back seat. And the officer goes to detain the second lady. This is the one that had the dog and the child with her. As he's going over to make contact with her, he's walking through the weeds and brushes you see here, back on that end. And as he's making contact with her, the dog, it's a wounded warrior assigned dog for PTSD. She is a retired veteran. So the dog lunges at the officer, bites him in his left leg. So he draws his firearm and he shoots a few times into the dog. And the dog, from what I understand, sounds like it's going to live. However, during the exchange, one of the rounds, it looks like it skipped. Something struck the lady in her left leg, like down at the shin area on the outside. From what I understand, the latest I heard, it's a small piece of fragment of something. Could be part of the round, could be something from the ground, we don't know. But the hospital is not going to remove it because I guess it's fairly small. So that's what we got. She is stable, obviously, doing okay. They worked through it with her at that point. Once they were able to get medical treatment, they were able to help her out. It sounds like the rescue got her over to the hospital. They had to get the dog secure so they could try to do something with the dog, so it took a few minutes. From what I understand, at this point, it sounds like the dog is going to be okay. And I can give you the officer involved's information. His name is Milan, M-I-L-A-N, Jones. He's been with us for 8 months. His ID number is 87429. This is his first officer-involved incident with JSO. He did do 25 years up in Washington, D.C., and from my understanding, he did have a couple incidents up there as well. The witness officer that was on scene is Officer Anthony Swanson, S-W-A-N-S-O-N, and his ID number is 79325. And with that, I can take a few questions. The state, oh, by the way, the state is here doing an investigation like they always do with any officer-involved incident, so they're going to go through that and see if there's anything on their side that they want to address.
So you're saying a fragment from the bullet hit the lady in the leg?
A fragment of something. It could be part of the bullet. It could be something off the ground. We don't know that, so the hospital's looking into that.
And how many shots were fired?
He shot, I think it was 3 times.
Okay, what kind of dog was it?
It's a 10-year-old German Shepard. It's assigned to this lady. She's a veteran Marine, and this is a dog that's assigned through Wounded Warriors for PTSD.
And she is not the woman that had the child?
She is. Yes, she is. Child was fine. They removed the child out of the way to make sure the child was okay while she was securing the dog and doing what they could do. So
the lady with the child and the dog, she was a part of a burglary incident over the weekend.
She was a victim. Actually, her husband's vehicle was burglarized over the weekend. Some of his property was already recovered over here on the tracks. So today she came out to walk the tracks to see if they found anything else. My understanding, there's a bag missing that was pretty significant to him. It's got some emotional attachment to it, it sounds like. So they were looking to see if maybe the bag was out here. And during that, just had a misunderstanding with the other lady, came across, and the bicycle came into question, and nothing was going on, it was just a misunderstanding.
Would you be able to explain what the protocol is when you guys come across the dogs or the kitty?
Okay, so you've been listening to police there. A very confusing situation. Apparently 2 women, one of them a Marine veteran with PTSD and a service dog, getting in some type of argument over a mistake or a misunderstanding over a bicycle. A very confusing situation there. But the good news is we understand that the women are okay. And a police officer said the dog, the service dog, lunged at the officer, and that was when he fired 3 rounds, but the dog is expected to be okay.
That's right. So it was just a dispute basically between 2 women. One of the women said that they had a gun on them, so police, they were called. And then when the officer got there, as Heather just mentioned, he went to talk with one of the women. She had a service dog, and it lunged at him, and he ended up firing shots. So we're going to have more information coming up for you a little bit later in the newscast. We do need to clarify a few things on that, and we'll also have more on our website, firstcoastnews.com.